Hey everybody, Jeff Crutcher here, team principal of CREO, and we're gonna do a bike walk around what the pros ride. All right, so what we have here is a 2024 KTM 250F, a 2024 KTM 350. Our Arena Cross race bikes are 350s. The boys are practicing on 250s, and then in Supercross, we'll race 250s also. Our motorcycles, for the most part, are pretty stock. Now, however, a few things about these bikes that we modify is on the inside here, on a typical four-stroke, there's a backfire cage. We remove the backfire cage, and we also run the vented air box. We want these motorcycles to get as much airflow as possible, more throttle response. Additionally, we're running the ETS racing fuel, so inside of here is the Extra Blaze 100. In Supercross, we run ETS MX-18, which was developed by KTM in 2018, and that's the fuel that we choose. They do have a second offering, MX-21. Frankly, we don't need it. You know, we're very happy with the 18. We've on our 250Fs, we're dynoing over 4.5 additional horsepower just from our 405 mods Get ECU and the ETS racing fuels. On the other side of the motorcycle here, you'll notice we're running still the stock header. It's really hard to beat a stock header on a KTM. Now, however, we are running the Dubach slip-on. This is the NS4. Please don't mind how busted up our sticker is here. We burn through these. Arena Cross, as you can see, is extremely high contact. On that note of high contact, Dave, I'm gonna have you drop back down here one more time. Okay, so this is a Pro X rotor, and the Pro X rotor has a lot beefier chassis of the rotor versus the stock KTM one. Now, the reason that we run these Pro X rotors, the braking performance is the exact same as the stock rotor on a KTM, is extremely good, but it's a beefier mounting area, okay? Additionally, we have Hon hubs, Dirt Star STX rims, and the this whole component is assembled by W. Up here, we're running, I'm gonna tell you right now, I buy these online. These are Tusk. That's like $9 or something like that. You know, there's some stuff where it's like, I can't afford to buy the really fancy Works Connection stuff, so we buy the Tusk. This is something that Merrick, Jorgen's mechanic, taught me, is to take a master link, drill it out, and run the spring up to this. So there's, now this spring's kind of, actually, I'm glad I look at this. I need to replace that spring. But there's a lot less room for this spring. And all of these guys like to run their brake lever a little bit higher. This is kind of an Arena Cross, Supercross thing. So we have to run the spring upwards as opposed to backwards where it normally mounts back here. Now I'm gonna have you pan around here, Dave. So inside here, you can see this is a Race Tech bladder conversion kit, and JH2 is our tuner. On our forks, we're running the Race Tech Gold valves with JH2, or tuned by JH2. This is the Duval X-Shot. This is a fantastic whole shot device. Plus, it's a two-piece coupler, which means that you don't have to remove the fork to remove, repair, or replace the catch ring. Also, everybody always asks about the Duval. It's a rubber button, or a rubber boot on the outside of the button. Whenever I look these things up online, I didn't know how it worked at all. I was very confused, honestly. I'm like, is it metal? Is it rubber? Does it slide? It's just a rubber boot on the outside of the button. Furthermore, we're running the BRP top triple clamp. Now, this is really badass technology. You can see we've got these red rubber bushings inside of here, and there's 4 points of contact versus the stock KTM one, which is very prone to twisting. You look at it the wrong way and it twists. On all three motorcycles, our guys are running the ODI CFT bar. We've got UFO plastics, and I think that's mostly it. I don't think there's anything left. So, I mean, we're not like tricking these bikes out with a bunch of aftermarket parts. Instead, our whole thought process is let's keep the bikes as fresh and nice and new as possible. If that means we have to buy a less expensive part and replace it more often, for example, like these are not Brembo levers. These are Tusk levers. The Brembo lever is like $80. I buy the Tusk ones, bro, they're like $8. How do I not do that? Yeah. So let's see. Tyler opts for the Imig Pro V2s. Dawson prefers the standard half waffle. And then Jorgen likes the stock ODI, the OEM grip. That's pretty much it. We maintain the hell out of these bikes. I mean, we tear these things down and re-grease and clean and do everything that we can to keep them as nice as new and possible. On the internal, we're running Bel-Ray 10W40. I know the manual calls for 10W50. In Arena Cross and Supercross, we're running a lighter fluid oil. Number one, we want it to get up to operating temperature quicker. And additionally, we want a lighter fluid, and we're running a little bit less CCs, lower case pressure, and better clutch action. You may not get as much clutch life out of it because we're running less oil, but we're looking for very precise action and less case pressure, because these motorcycles in Arena Cross, I mean, we're hitting the whoop section every 20 seconds, where in Supercross, it's totally different. There's a lot of clutch use in Arena Cross, and because of that high demand on these parts, we're using the high quality Bel-Ray Thumper 10W40. I think that's about it. We use Pro X air filters, which you guys already saw, Pro X chain and sprocket, OEM shift lever unless we bend it, and then we run the Tusk unit. If we bend a radiator, I don't replace them. I send them to Milers in Utah and get practically a brand new radiator. And by the way, I don't get anything from Milers. I pay full retail. It's just they offer a really good service. You bend a radiator, $80, it's back. You know, I mean, KTM radiators are really hard to get right now. And then this is the Velcro system gut seat. So that's the gist of it. We're getting ready to go up for time qualifying right now, which starts in about 20 minutes. We're here in Dallas at the General Tire Arena Motocross rounds, I think 9 and 10, dude. Could be 7 and 8. I'm a little lost in that. So if you want to come be part of the team, there's only one way to do it, and that is by signing up through the collective experience. We'll be doing Supercross East, and we got a couple Arena Cross rounds here in the Midwest if you're Midwest based, or you want to get a little more bang for your buck and do 2 nights of racing. Come join us at General Tire Arena Motocross or 250 East. We're also doing St. Louis in the 450 class, which is Triple Crown, and then we're going to do 450 in Denver as well. So I'm sure there's going to be a link, there's going to be a screen, there's going to be a button, some call to action. Hey, thanks for joining, guys. We look forward to seeing you at the races. Even if you don't sign up as an intern, please come by. We've got stickers, koozies, lanyards, all kinds of fun promo stuff. And I love talking about bikes. Merrick does too. We'd be happy to talk bike setup and just information about the motorcycle. So we'll see you soon. And thanks for joining this episode of What the Pros Ride.